I first learned about meditation at university. I was studying physical education and sports, and we had some, heavy training sessions, and everybody was really tired. And then our teacher said that we can recover much better if we do a kind of meditation in the nature. And we didn't know about it, and they just said sit next to the river, listen to the sound of the river, and just breathe deep in and deep out. And I just loved it because I immediately felt that I can relax my muscles, and I was in a good frame of mind. I was happy. And next time we had a meditation in the forest, very beautiful forest, and she said just look at the trees, just see the trees. After a few minutes I was again kind of absorbed into the beauty and the smell of the forest as she taught us, and I again had this wonderful feeling of relaxation. And the best thing, of course, is you have no mind, you have no thoughts at that moment, and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. So that was my first impression or my first experience with meditation. I found out about Sri Chinmoy. A friend of mine just saw a poster about a lecture about meditation and meditation music, and I already liked meditation music because it helped me to relax. And so we went to the lecture, and I first heard the name Sri Chinmoy, and I also heard that there is a spiritual master for everybody on this earth, and it's the birthright of everybody to find your spiritual master. And I was like, oh my God, this is something that I really want to have. I want to find my spiritual master, the master that helps me to become a better person and be even more relaxed and evolve. And so I was listening very carefully about what he was telling, and I said, yeah, this is really what I want. I will now go to New York. I planned my trip to New York already. I was studying there, and I said, well, in New York I want to find my spiritual master. So that was how I found out about Sri Chinmoy. I wasn't sure if Sri Chinmoy is my spiritual master, but I had this feeling, New York is so big, I have so many choices, and I will check out all the groups, which was kind of a little bit maybe too much, but that was in my mind, and then I will see which path fits for me, which one I like the most. In one of Sri Chinmoy's books, he's talking about how to find a spiritual master, and he said you just have to put pictures of different masters you like in front of you and see which picture is most attractive, which one you like the most, which one you feel kind of something very sweet or something very special. And that's what I did. I just had 3 or 4 pictures lying on my little meditation desk, and the pictures were all nice, but the smile of Sri Chinmoy just was absolutely the best. It was like, and I did it again, and I think I did it 3 or 4 times, and it was always like, Sri Chinmoy was smiling with such a bright smile and so touching. So I became a disciple in New York, and to become a disciple in these days you had to fill out an application with a picture on it, and somehow the application got lost. And I was ready, I was ready for manifestation. I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that, but the center leader is the one who are in charge of the center didn't know what to do with me, because officially I wasn't a disciple, and I couldn't, of course, tell them that I'm sure about, that this is my path and Guru is my Guru. So this was kind of an obstacle we had to face for 3 or 4 months, and I couldn't go to the Wednesday meditation and the Sunday meditation because officially I wasn't a disciple of Sri Chinmoy. So there are always there are tests, and you can learn how good you understand already spirituality, or how good you can deal with obstacles if you make them bigger, or if you just climb them. It's an obstacle, and sometimes it's fun to have an obstacle and just try to challenge it and overcome it. And overcoming is really nice. It's Guru Sri Chinmoy says transcending, and transcending is a nice feeling. Really gives you a lot of joy, and joy is always nice in life. The relationship between a spiritual master and a disciple is always hard for me to describe, because I was taught as a kid that I can always talk to Jesus, to the Jesus as in the child aspect, the little Jesus. So when there was something going on and I didn't want to talk to my parents, as a child I always talked to Jesus, because he was also a child, he was kind of my age, and I always had the feeling that he's listening to me. So when I became a disciple of Sri Chinmoy, I just did the same thing. Whenever there was something going on, I just talked to inwardly or even outwardly, loud. I talked to Sri Chinmoy, and he is like my absolutely best friend. I tell him everything, he knows everything. I'm expecting an answer every time. Even though it's not coming right away, you always get a funny answer or a serious answer. And the answer is not like, it's sometimes like a feeling, it's sometimes real words, but it's like a spiritual master is like a person who is always there, even though you don't see him, you cannot touch him, but he's always there. And whenever the disciple is ready to ask something or to want something, spiritual master is always there to comfort you, to guide you, to scold you, or whatever you need at this moment. The spiritual master shows you very gently and very lovingly your shortcomings and inspire you to just look at them and accept them, and just the wanting of transcending them. Just try to give them to your spiritual master and transcend them. Just give them away, let them go, and maybe you are ready to become a better person. But first you have to accept them, you have to look at them, you have to love them, kind of, even though you don't want to. You have to deal with them, and then with a lot of grace and with the love of a spiritual master, he'll take them away in few steps so that you don't miss them. Maybe you miss them, and then you can become a better person. Because I always like to do all kinds of sports, I was so impressed. I was so impressed that a spiritual master is like, he plays football, he plays tennis, he is an excellent runner. So I was like, oh my God, this is so inspiring. And so on the outer plane, I like this aspect of dynamism, of transcending yourself, of giving your best, and not competing with other people. Always try to bring the best out of you, which I always liked in whatever sport I was doing. And this is one aspect that's really holy to me. I really like it a lot. The spiritual life is an adventure. If you like adventures, if you are ready to change, if you are open to new things in your life, open to new ways of seeing your life or the life in general, if you want a fulfilled life and a life that is more fun, has more joy and has more opportunities, then just start where you are. Don't expect too much from yourself, don't expect too much from other people, and just see where it can go. Just be cheerful and open and enthusiastic and see what will happen. It's nice.
When I praise God in His